Good afternoon, everybody. Glad that you could join us on such a beautiful Sunday afternoon for the 7th Annual Lincoln Veterans Parade. I always like to give a shout out. We have great volunteers, and we had a big crew, and we got the reviewing stand in the Capitol area set up in record time this year. And a shout out to the couple in the lime green chairs over there. They were our first spectators out here about 10 after 12 today. So good job. And then I know we had a couple down there from McCook that got here a little after that, and it's just a great day. My name's Jim Bunch, and I'm on the executive board for the Lincoln Veterans Parade Committee. And at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you former Lincoln City Council member and Army veteran Roy Christensen.
Thank you, Jim. Welcome, everyone, on behalf of the board of the Lincoln Veterans Parade. We're glad to have you here at our 7th anniversary of our parade. We are welcoming today with us our Grand Marshal, Major General Darrell Bohawk, retired, and Lyrian Gaylor Baird, Mayor of the great city of Lincoln, Nebraska. I'd also like to recognize all of the other elected officials and dignitaries with us today. If you're an elected official out there, wave your hand. All right. I know there's at least 2 or 3 out there. So we'll begin today by having Mayor Gaylor Baird speak to us. As we speak right now, the parade has stepped off at Lincoln High. And so it'll be a few minutes before they get here, but they're on their way. Mayor Gaylor Baird.
Thank you, Roy, and thank you so much for your service to our country as a veteran in the Army, from the Army, and as former city council member. I got to beat this parade, so let me get started and just say welcome, everyone, to Lincoln's Veterans Parade. We are so proud to be here. The City of Lincoln is a proud sponsor, and we want to thank all the other sponsors who've made today's event possible. I also want to thank Major General Bohawk and Councilman Benny Shope, who are at the dais with me. I want to thank the Board of Directors for the Lincoln Veterans Parade, including Jim Bunch, who is here. Coming together like this to pay tribute to our veterans is why this event matters. And across the country, our veterans continue to give of themselves to our communities long after they leave their official tours of duty. Here in Lincoln, we're fortunate to have so many veterans who continue to serve our city and make it stronger. Veterans like Marty Ramirez. Marty Ramirez is a friend and someone who serves on the Multicultural Advisory Committee here in Lincoln. But he also served as an Army radio man in Vietnam and went on to receive a Purple Heart for his service in Vietnam, having been wounded just days before he was to return home to the United States. Just this week, Marty was chosen from among hundreds of nominees as Nebraska's representative as the 2026 Purple Heart Patriot Project mission. And this prestigious recognition of Marty means that he will have an all-expense-paid trip to New York for a week-long salute to his service and sacrifice, along with many others from across the country. Awards like that and parades like this are among the ways we can honor our veterans, and honoring our veterans is everyone's duty and responsibility in our community. We're all keepers of that sacred trust that says if you put on a uniform and risk your life to save us, like Marty did, we will do our part for you. I want to, again, thank everyone who put together this parade. I want to thank LPD for keep our folks safe on the streets today. And to all of our veterans and our veterans' families, thank you for everything you have done to protect our freedoms and our country. Enjoy the parade.
Nailed it. And now we'll hear from Darrell Bohawk.
Thanks, Troy. What a pleasure to be here this afternoon. What a glorious day. And Mayor, again, I would echo your remarks. The city stepping up to support veterans in this parade is just amazing. I was quite humbled when I was asked and so glad to be able to participate today and join my fellow veterans and their families who've given so much that we are free to gather here. As we prepare to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday next year, it's really timely to take a moment and reflect on our nation's history and our bid for independence from a remote and distant king. Recently, American filmmaker Ken Burns, whose 6-part documentary, The American Revolution, which premieres tonight on PBS, said in his estimation, our battle for independence was one of the most significant events in the history of our planet, and second only to the birth of Christ. The creation of the United States government with our form of government, with a people that's with elected representatives, which really hadn't been seen before, was a profound event, not only for those seeking independence from a king, but as a model of governance for all people worldwide. So let's take a moment and step back from that day when the Declaration of Independence gathered its last signature on July 4th, 1776. For the first time in public, it was read on July 8th at Independence Square in Philadelphia. But let's go back a little bit more to April 19th of 1775, when the shot heard around the world, fired by the Minutemen at the battles of Lexington and Concord, which sparked the American Revolutionary War and led to the creation of the United States. And indeed, the Minutemen of 1775 were elite members of the colonial militia and were the forerunners of today's modern National Guard. But those events at Lexington and Concord led to much more. They led to the formation of the Continental Army, the establishment of the U.S. Navy, and the creation of the United States Marine Corps, all within 4 months from that event. All this laying the foundation for 250 years of men and women wearing the cloth of our nation, volunteering or being drafted, but serving our great nation and being ready to respond at a moment's notice. And they all swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, an oath which endures beyond one's time in uniform. And as the mayor reflected, we often see veterans serving in school boards, on city councils, on all forms of government. So today, we celebrate those that have served, those that have worn the cloth of our nation, and continue to find ways to give, that lived out their oath here at home and abroad. So it's appropriate that we freely assemble today to give thanks for the service and sacrifice of those that served and their families, so that our democracy may prevail even in times of uncertainty, that we might be the shining light on the hill for all to see. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy the parade. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, General. It's great to have you with us today. As you know, our theme this year is 250 years of defending freedom, but we honor all veterans. So, the Air Force was born in 1947, but they were born from the Army Air Corps, and the Army is celebrating 250 years. The Navy is celebrating 250 years, and the Marine Corps is celebrating 250 years. And we honor our Space Corps, Space Force, which was born from the Air Force, which was born from the Army. So that's our theme, 250 years of defending freedom. We've had volunteers handing out our programs. I hope you were able to get one. We're really pleased with our art contest winner. That's the artist that created that great artwork that's on the bags that your program's in. I want to just talk a little bit about our sponsors. We have several sponsors that have been with us from the start. Our host sponsor is Sandhills Global. So Tom and Rhonda Peed founded Sandhills Global, and back then in the start it was called Peed Corporation, in 1978, transforming an old blacksmith shop in Webster City, Iowa, into their first office. with a small team of just 7 employees, they launched Machinery Trader, the company's inaugural publication focused on used construction equipment, on the used equipment market. So that's back, some of you younger folks may not understand this, so your parents and grandparents may have to explain it to you, but it's just like we used to get a phone book, and once or twice a year, Centel or whoever your telephone provider was, they would drop, you'd come home and there'd be a plastic bag with your phone book there, and so if you needed to look up neighbor's phone number, you didn't have your neighbor's phone number, well, everyone was in there. If you knew their name and their address, you can just flip through there. Sandhills Global started the same way. They started with a catalog, a printed catalog, and they've now morphed into a leader in their industry, and certainly a great steward in our community. They do so much for Lincoln and Lancaster County. If we talked about what Sandhills does for the community, we'd miss the parade. But I do hear the music, and they're getting closer. So also, thanks so much to KFOR for being here as our parade announcers. Again, KFOR has been with us from the start. We want to thank Lincoln City TV for being here, and every year LNK TV just expands what they're doing. So now, people that are unable to come to the parade, they can watch on LNK TV, they can watch on YouTube. We've just really expanded our marketing and exposure footprint, and it's a team effort. You see these folks on parade day, but what you don't realize is that our partners are working with us 12 months a year. We'll bask in the glow of the parade, and we'll be right back on December, the first Wednesday in December. We'll kick into starting our work for next year's parade. So we're going to have 3 bands today. Lincoln Northeast is our lead band, and it's going to be a little different than what you might have experienced at other public events. When the Lincoln Northeast band and the Color Guard reach 16 to your left or right, coming from this. There you go. All right. I am a Navy guy. I do know east, west, north, and south, but I don't have my compass in front of me. They're coming from the east. Thank you, General. And we will give you a signal but the national anthem, they're gonna play while they march. So that's something that's a little different. And then our middle band is going to be Lincoln Northwest High School. And then our last band is going to be Lincoln Southeast High School. And they will stop. And Lincoln Southeast, their last number will be playing the Armed Forces Melody. So I'll get back up here and I will call out each service. And when we call for veterans, when your service song starts playing, if you can, we would like you to stand up while your song's playing. And if you're unable to stand, please wave. Let everybody lining the streets here around the Capitol know you're here. We have a lot of other great sponsors. Last but not least, well, we're going to say them first, even though they're listed at the bottom of the program. The reason that they're at the bottom of the page is because eye movement, you remember the last thing you saw. So on our sponsor page, we're so grateful to the city of Lincoln, to the mayor and the city council. This parade was made possible by a city of Lincoln grant. And after a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, we got to the point that we had great sponsors and we didn't need the city money anymore. So we still get their support. We have Lincoln Police Department, Captain Kopsa and his crew are out here today. LTU, the folks that put out the traffic barriers and the signage that lets you know. And so the parade's here, and we'll turn it over to KFOR.
Please stand for our national anthem and remove your hats. The Lincoln Northeast Band with our national anthem. Leading this year's Veterans Parade is the Nebraska Marine Corps League Color Guard. This unit is comprised of members from the Miguel Keith Detachment 609 of Omaha. This color guard was collectively formed earlier this year to better cover missions in southeast Nebraska. In addition to presenting the national standard at events and parades, they have performed several duties at funerals, continuing the promise to preserve traditions of the Marine Corps, strengthening the fraternity of Marines, FMF Navy, and their families.
The Marine Corps League Cornhusker Detachment, introducing Lincoln, Nebraska's own Cornhusker Detachment 370 of the Marine Corps League, comprised of U.S. Marine Corps veterans, as well as members of the U.S. Navy Fleet Marine Force. The mission of the Marine Corps League is to promote the interest and preserve traditions of the United States Marine Corps, strengthen fraternity of Marines and their families, serve Marines and FMM Navy personnel who wear and who wore the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, and foster the ideals of Americanism and patriotic volunteerism. The Cornhusker Detachment continues to uphold these traditions and supports our communities through continued service.
Hearing Analytics is a proud sponsor of Lincoln Northwest High School Marching Band, and they want to remind you that better hearing is better living.
You just saw Lincoln Northwest High School, and the band under direction of Mr. Paul Kenny and Mr. Rob Salstein, with percussion instructor Thomas Andresick and color guard coach Mackenzie Burr. The Falcon Marching Band started with 28 students in 2022. It has grown to 96 students this year. They enjoyed a successful marching band season, LPS Marching Invitation and NSBA State Marching Competition. The band would like to thank all the amazing parents and family members who volunteered their time and support this year.
The host of this year's Lincoln Veterans Parade is Sandhills Global. In 1985, they made their home in Lincoln and have been giving back to the community through corporate sponsorships for organizations and events across the city. Sandhills Global is a proud supporter of veterans and their employees who serve.
Please welcome the Lincoln Police Department. LPD is proud of our veterans. They serve both our country and city of Lincoln. And the entry we have is the classic 1989 blue and white Dodge Diplomat, accompanied by the department veterans. Help thank the Lincoln Police Department for their service to the community, both as officers and service members.
The mission of the Veterans Memorial Garden Advisory Council is to recommend policy to the Director of Parks and Recreation, the City Council, the Mayor on issues relating to the development, design, programming, and management of the garden area, to promote public awareness of the garden, and to coordinate events presented in the garden. Events are held in the Veterans Memorial Garden each year, recognizing Memorial Day, Patriots Day, Veterans Day, Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. On these and other holidays, all 46 flags are flying in commemoration. Their annual dedication of newly placed bricks of honor is held on the second Saturday in June.
Individual veterans, those who've served the U.S. military, are never charged a registration fee. There are some who just want to walk in the parade. Every year, the entry is reserved for those service members, veterans, and their families. Please join me in thanking those heroes for their service. These veterans are followed by Eric Mosterborough in his restored World War II 1942 GPM Jeep.
Marine Corps veteran Fred Fleming joined the military immediately following high school. He served from 1972 to 1974 and separated as a Lance Corporal. Fred was in motor transport at Camp Pendleton, California, and in Okinawa, Japan. Fred and Pam have been married for 48 years, living in Lincoln all of their lives. They have 2 children, 5 grandchildren. Fred Fleming is driving a 1965 Plymouth Belvedere 2. He and Pam completely restored his car from the ground up.
You're seeing a 1967 Camaro. Bob is proud to have served in the Army from 1970 to 1973 when he received an honorable discharge. His last assignment was the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment, the Black Horse Regiment. Joining the service was one of the best decisions I ever made, said Bob. It gave me direction and skills at a time when I needed both. I would encourage any young person who's confused about what they want to be or do in their life to give the military services a serious consideration. Eloise, the name of this Camaro.
This 2017 GMC Sierra Red 4x4 is owned by Dennis and Ramona Konecki with Snickers. They're a Yorkie. Dennis served 6 years in the Army, one of which in Vietnam. They both enjoy participating in parades, reminding people to support veterans every day.
The American Legion Post 294, Altman Messman Post 294 in Hallam, Nebraska, worked with the village to help rebuild after the 2004 tornado. And we continue to support the village with rebuilding of Village Park.
Berry Law founder John Stevens Berry Sr. is a Vietnam veteran and Bronze Star recipient. CEO John Berry Jr. served as a company commander in Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom and as a platoon leader in Operation Joint Forge in Bosnia. Berry Law has veterans on their team from the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, who have since served. Their staff ranges from E3 to 06 and wear decorations including the Legion of Merit, Bronze Stars, MSMs, Purple Hearts, and dozens of commendation medals. Berry Law's veteran disability lawyer works with you to organize and to package the evidence and legal arguments necessary for you to get the VA disability benefits you earned. Law firm proud to have helped thousands of veterans in their fight for increased disability benefits. Berry Law represents veterans in all 50 states and veterans living abroad.
Here come the Blue Star Moms, members of Nebraska's Chapter 2 Blue Star Mothers of Americans of America have children currently serving in the military or children who are veterans. Blue Star Moms support their military children while promoting patriotism. Their projects include sending care packages to service members deployed around the world, assisting veterans organizations, and organizing the annual Our Community Salutes event honoring high school seniors who will enter the military after graduation.
Gold Star father Owen Henderson honoring his son, CPL Matthew Henderson, killed in the Iraqi War, marching with the Gold Star flag.
AARP Nebraska salutes and honors all who've served to protect our freedom. Supporting veterans and family members is a top priority for AARP through its Veterans and Military Families Initiative. AARP provides trusted resources to help veterans access health care, claim benefits, find jobs, and safeguard against fraud. Whether you're on active duty, retired, or caring for a veteran loved one, or just navigating life as a military family, AARP offers tools for financing, planning, career support, and community connection.
The National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 8, we are affiliated with the Lincoln Central Labor Union and the Nebraska State American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations. Our branch, founded in 1889, we deliver mail to the citizens of Lincoln, Beatrice, Crete, and Friend. Many of our members are former service members of the Army, Navy, Marine, and Air Force. These men and women have continued their civil service with Postal Service once leaving their respective branches of military.
The Sewers Club, founded by a group of Lincoln businessmen, the Sewers Club has an over 130-year history of sewing goodwill in the city of Lincoln and surrounding communities since 1989. These sewers have donated over $3.5 million to more than 300 nonprofits in Nebraska communities throughout charitable giving, with an emphasis on youth and underprivileged and education.
Please welcome T-Mobile, proudly walking in honor of America's veterans, service members, and their families. T-Mobile is deeply committed to those who serve, hiring veterans and military spouses, supporting over 12,000 members of its Veterans and Allies Network, and giving back through community partnerships nationwide. For military customers, T-Mobile's experience plans with military savings offer up to $720 a year in savings, with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's largest 5G network. With values of respect, integrity, loyalty, and honor, T-Mobile continues to stand strong, serving those who served. Let's hear for T-Mobile, the carrier with heart for the military.
We were a little early on the Sewers Club. Here is their float. Again, Sewers donating over $3.5 million to over 300 nonprofits in Nebraska. Please put your hands together for the Sewers Club.
And here are the folks from T-Mobile.
Driving up the street, our friends in radio family, The Eagle, 92.9, The Eagle, online as well at ktgl.com, home of the morning show that rocks with Scott Kay and Joe Scar.
HeroStock is proud to take part in this year's Lincoln Veterans Parade, celebrating the men and women who have served our nation with courage and sacrifice. Our mission is to blend vital resources, music, and camaraderie to honor service, foster healing, and strengthen community bonds. At HeroStock, we believe in honor, healing, service, and celebration. Through our events, we unite veterans, first responders, Gold Star families, and their supporters with local nonprofits that provide essential resources, all sharing the healing power of music.
And you see the Boy Scouts and Scouting America the vast tapestry of American life, few organizations encapsulate the spirit of patriotism quite like the Boy Scouts of America, founded in 1910. The Boy Scouts have been crucial to helping young Americans forge values, citizenship, services, and community. And through scouting and celebrating scouting, they celebrate the enduring legacy of patriotism, and one that's been built on the ideas of service to community and profound love of country.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to welcome One Source Marketing to today's Veterans Parade. Based in Lincoln, One Source Marketing has proudly served our community as a premier branding and website design company for 27 years, helping businesses of all sizes share their story and make their mark. Today, One Source Marketing joins us to honor the men and women who have selflessly served our country. Let's give a warm round of applause for One Source Marketing and a heartfelt thank you to all veterans for their service and sacrifice. We salute you.
Coming up the street is American Legion Post 3, the Honor Guard, Blue Team 6. On the post banner in the red cap is our American Legion National Vice Commander, Jerry Landcamer, a U.S. Navy and Vietnam veteran from Norfolk, Nebraska. Jerry is the former Post 3 Lincoln member. Landcamer was elected August 28th during the 106th National Convention in Tampa, Florida, followed by Fred Crackstill, with fellow Post members in his original 1971 Chevelle.
The American Legion Post 3, Honor Guard, Blue Team 6, followed by Fred Crackstill with fellow Post members in his original 1971 Chevelle.
The American Legion Riders, Chapter 3. American Legion Riders is a national program of the American Legion. We're over 2,000 chapters with 110,000 members nationwide. These ALR chapters are well known for their charitable work, which has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for local children's hospitals, schools, veterans' homes, and severely wounded service members and scholarships. The American Legion Riders Chapter 3 proud to have escorted military units returning home from combat tours overseas. They participated in countless funerals, honors for deceased veterans, and participated in cross-country fundraising events for wounded warriors from all services.
Happy 106th anniversary to the American Legion Auxiliary. Founded in 1919, the American Legion Auxiliary is the largest organization in the world dedicated to honor, support, and enhance the lives of our veterans, military, and their families at home and abroad. In the spirit of service, not self, the ALA knows military service is a sacrifice to the whole family. So members quietly look for ways to ease the burden. They host stand-downs that bring and promote vital health and support to our homeless veterans, assist in veterans' homes and hospitals, promote educational youth programs. For God and country, they foster patriotism, citizenship, peace, security, and honor our veterans by passing on respect for our country and the flag. Unit President is Lori Goobster. Happy 106th birthday.
Here come the Girl Scouts, Spirit of Nebraska. The Girl Scout Spirit of Nebraska is the largest girl service organization in the state with 14,000 members. They have 4 service centers, 6 camp/outdoor properties, and 1 outdoor education facility spanning more than 77,000 square miles across 92 Nebraska counties and Carter Lake, Iowa. The organization is and always will be grounded in the Girl Scout promise and law. With the support of committed adult volunteers, activities are girl-led so that each girl's leadership potential can bloom. Girl Scouts thank you and the veterans and celebrate their contributions to our community.
Please welcome the Lincoln Auto Care Alliance, a coalition of local automotive repair shops dedicated to promoting the skilled trades and supporting our veterans. This group organizes 2 major community events each year, Cruising for the Trades, which funds scholarships for trade students at Southeast Community College, and the Heroes and Hot Rods Car Show at Victory Park, honoring and supporting the veterans who live there. Alliance members include Apollo Automotive, the Auto Connection Incorporated, Southwest Automotive, Trade Center Automotive, Pioneer 66, George Witt Service, Certified Transmission, Bombers Garage, BG of Nebraska, and A Street Auto Parts. Together, they combine their passion for cars with a commitment to service, helping students enter the trades, giving back to those who served our country. For updates on events and fundraisers, follow Lincoln Auto Care Alliance on Facebook. Let's give them a warm round of applause for their appreciation, their participation.
Here's the 1941 Dodge WC-12 military truck, a half-ton 4x4 military truck known for its use in World War II for carrying troops, cargo, and weapons. They're powered by the Dodge T214 flathead 6-cylinder engine and a 4-speed transmission with a 2-speed transfer case. This beauty is driven by George Thiel.
Seeking to provide education and to inspire through live demonstration of the many contributions the American automotive industry has made to this nation's defense, today we say thank you to all veterans for their service, sacrifice, and example to future servicemen and women. This 1942 GMC CCKW douche and a half is one of over 500,000 built for World War II. General Eisenhower said it to be one of the most vital machines to our success. It is also a winner of the Army-Navy E Award. This was given to the companies and organizations during World War II whose facilities achieved excellence in production of war equipment. The M274 utility platform truck is a 4-wheel drive and 4-wheel steering Marine Corps model. It was originally designed to replace the Jeep at the infantry level. This small but mighty vehicle is the only known military truck whose cargo capacity exceeds its own weight, thus affectionately named the Mechanical Mule.
Driving forward, the 1943 M3 half-track vehicle that just went by. In World War II, the U.S. Army troop carrier carries 13 troops. Over 50,000 of these vehicles were manufactured by 4 different companies from 1941 through 1945 in many configurations. Some of these were troop carriers, some for artillery, and some for anti-tank service.
'53 Dodge M37 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive 6-cylinder 230 cubic inch engine military pickup used during the Korean War, used for transporting troops and radio communications. The Beschheidens purchased it on September 26 of 1995 from a government surplus which was previously used by the Forestry Department until it finally broke down. This truck sat for several more years waiting for needed parts to be collected. Repairs were made by Bud, Jim, and Luke Beschheinen. 1953 Jeep M38A1 military Jeep came from the city of Ainsley, Nebraska.
You just saw the 1985 M998 Humvee roll by. This truck served in a guard unit in South Dakota, and someone bought it for and from auction. Jason Payne found this Hummer about 2 years ago on Facebook with only 15,000 miles. Thanks to Jason for his service in the Army Reserves.
The Disabled American Veterans Chapter 7 is represented today by volunteer driver Alan Learman, Chapter Commander Larry Zulke, and Chapter Auxiliary Member Tosca Zulke. Chapter volunteer drivers have transported 957 veterans to their appointments in 2024 and 523 so far in 2025.
You're hearing the Rough Riders Motorcycle Group, a nonprofit organization based in Lincoln, a group of men who enjoy the freedom of riding their steel horses. The Rough Riders are a group dedicated to brotherhood, fellowship, safety, supporting our community and helping local individual charities. Some of the charities they support: Make-A-Wish, the Food Bank, Backpack for Kids, Shrine Transportation Fund, Friendship Home of Lincoln, and Lincoln Youth Sports. They donate, they spend time, and since the first Rough Rider charity event in 2003, the Rough Riders have donated hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to those in need.
The Lincoln Firefighters Association represents more than 300 firefighters, paramedics, fire mechanics, and fire inspectors in Lincoln and in South Sioux City. This union works to provide our firefighters with a safe workplace, fair wages, proper benefits, and an honorable retirement deserved by those who spend their lives serving our community.
Capital City Ford and Mustang Club is proud to support the veterans. This month marks the club's 60th year of having fun with our cars and supporting charities in Lincoln, and also making our club one of the oldest Mustang clubs in the U.S.
Next up, Allo Fiber. Please welcome Allo Fiber, your trusted fiber internet, TV, and mobile phone provider in Lincoln. ALLO proudly honors all military veterans for their incredible service, courage, and sacrifice in defending our country. At ALLO, people always come first, and that's why they're deeply committed to employing, supporting, and celebrating veterans within the communities they serve. For 5 consecutive years, ALLO has received the Higher Vets Medallion Award, and this year they're also recognized by the Vets Index as the 2025 5-Star Employer, a true testament to their dedication to those who've served. From everyone at ALLO Fiber, thank you to those military veterans for your continued strength, leadership, and the positive impact that you make every day.
After ALLO is Trail Life USA, a Christian scouting program for boys that focuses on developing godly men of character. These troops are always glad to honor our men and women in uniform. They enjoy learning skills from veterans and about service to our country. Check out their website to find troops in the area. Thank you, veterans.
Smithfield Foods is an American food company with agricultural roots and a global reach. On behalf of their 60,000 team members, including more than 450 at their facility here in Lincoln, Nebraska, Smithfield wishes all our veterans a happy Veterans Day and would like to thank these brave men and women for their service to our country. Smithfield is passionate about supporting the communities where their employees work, live, and raise their families. The company was recently named as a Best for Vets employer by Military Times for the 3rd consecutive year. Through their Helping Our Heroes initiative, Smithfield has committed to hire 4,000 veterans by 2025 and has launched various programs to support the transition from military to civilian. Let's hear it for this local company and their employees who are helping to feed the world by producing good food responsibly.
Here comes American Legion Post 342. Please welcome them. Havelock Post 342 proudly serving veterans and the Lincoln community since its chapter and charter December 12, 1975 for nearly 50 years. Their mission to enhance the well-being of Americans' veterans, their families, our military, and our community through devotion to mutual helpfulness. The members of Post 342 are veterans who answered the call to serve our nation, and they continue to serve today through advocacy, community programs, youth initiatives, and support for fellow veterans and their families.
The Rebels Auto Club is an association of friendly people promoting the ownership, showing, racing, and preservation of original and modified vehicles of all types. Members meet monthly and sponsor frequent club events, cruises, garage scenes, and much more. The Rebels sponsor a major car show for all makes at the end of June each year. The profits from this show are distributed in the form of student scholarships at Southeast Community College and to various nonprofit community service organizations in the Lincoln area. The Rebels Auto Club was originally formed in 1955. The club went dormant in the early 70s. The Rebels Auto Club has a rebirth in 1996 and continues to be active to this day.
Up next, the Sons of the American Revolution. The Sons of the American Revolution honors our Revolutionary War patriot ancestors by promoting patriotism, serving our communities, and educating and inspiring future generations about the founding principles of our country.
Next, we have the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, recognized as the largest women's lineage organization. DAR is a society to perpetuate the memory and the spirit of the men and women who achieved American independence. They have three major objectives: historic preservation, promotion of education, patriotic endeavors. They cherish, maintain, and extend the institution of American freedom. We foster true patriotism, love of country, and aid in securing for mankind the blessings of liberty. Deborah Avery chapter has the distinction of being the first chapter in Nebraska to be chartered in May of 1896. There are currently 87 members of the Deborah Avery from diverse backgrounds and with variety of interests. We are always welcoming new members to our patriotic and service-oriented organization. We are looking forward to celebrating America's 250th birthday in 2026.
Here are veterans of foreign wars. VFW Lincoln Post, the veterans of foreign wars, proudly represented today by Lincoln Area Post 131, 3606, 4626, and 7722. The VFW is one of our nation's oldest and most respected veteran service organizations, made up of men and women who've served honorably in overseas conflicts in defense of our country for more than a century. The VFW has stood as a pillar of support for veterans, service members, and their families, advocating for their needs, strengthening our communities, and honoring the sacrifices that safeguard our freedom. Today's members from these four Lincoln Posts march together, representing generations of courage, service, and sacrifice. They continue to serve not only each other, but also the next generation, providing scholarships and support to military families and assisting fellow veterans.
This is the Lincoln Air Force Junior ROTC program. This leadership development and community service-oriented program is led by Justin Twilley, along with the Cadet Commander, Cadet Colonel Camden Abel.
Big thanks to U-Stop and Whitehead Oil. U-Stop and Whitehead Oil are proud sponsors of Lincoln Northeast High School for this year's parade. Thank you to men and women who proudly served our country.
The Lincoln Northeast Marching Rockets are proud to represent Northeast Lincoln as we honor our veterans. The Marching Rockets are fresh off a successful competition season where they performed an original show titled A Journey Interrupted. The Marching Rockets would like to thank Mrs. Amy Holloman for the opportunity to participate in today's event.
This is American Legion Post 1919. Post 1919 extends a heartfelt thank you to all veterans, past and present, for your dedicated military service and for the leadership you continue to show in our communities today and every day. We honor your sacrifice and your commitment to our nation and proudly celebrate the 100th anniversary of American Legion Baseball. Post 1919 reaffirms its dedication to supporting the youth of our community. The American Legion's long-standing tradition of Americanism, one of our four core pillars, remains at the heart of everything we do.
Coming up next, Lancaster County 4-H. 4-H is open to youth ages 5 to 18. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln Extension 4-H Youth Development Program supports school enrichment programming, leadership opportunities, after-school programs, and more than 80 active 4-H clubs. Lancaster County 4-H is proud to support our veterans.
Following 4-H is the Marine Corps League Color Guard number 1. Leading this year's Veterans Parade is Nebraska Marine Corps League Color Guard. This unit is comprised of members from the Miguel Keith Detachment 609 of Omaha, with Corporal Douglas Zorin, Detachment 1466 of Gretna. This color guard was collectively formed earlier this year to better cover missions in the southeast Nebraska area. In addition to presenting the national standard at events and parades, they perform several duties at funerals, continuing the promise to preserve traditions of the Marine Corps, strengthening the fraternity of the Marines, FMF Navy, and their families.
The Military Order of the Purple Heart are combat wounded military veterans from all wars, helping other military veterans.
We see the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office on behalf of Sheriff Terry Wagner and the men and women of the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. We wish to express our sincere appreciation to all veterans, past and present. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, established in 1861, it is one of the oldest law enforcement agencies in Nebraska. Over the years, LSO has employed numerous members from multiple military branches. Thank you to the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office.
When the Knights of Columbus was founded back in 1882 as a philanthropic organization within the Catholic Church, 3 principles united its members: charity, unity, and fraternity. Patriotism was added in 1900, reinforcing the principle that Knights are loyal to both God and country. Lincoln's 2 assemblies of Sir Knights support veterans in a variety of ways, including assisting at the Veterans Car Show and the Veterans Music Festival, as well as hosting a summer barbecue for veterans. Sir Knights act as honor guards and color corps, standing in respect at the funerals of members or clergy of the Diocese of Lincoln. They place flags on graves of the deceased for Memorial Day and Veterans Day. 4th-degree assemblies help Knights put their faith and their love of country into action. The Fourth Degree Knights of Columbus are proud of this heritage and honored to march in the Lincoln Veterans Parade.
Following the Knights of Columbus, Nelnet. Nelnet, as this dedicated team walks by, we recognize the values they represent: service, commitment, and community. Sponsored by Nelnet, this group includes members of NetVets, Nelnet's associated resource group focused on supporting veterans, active duty service members, and their families. NelVets work to foster connection, provide resources, and honor the contributions of those who've served. Their presence today reflects Nelnet's broader commitment to giving back and building a culture of respect and support. Through education, outreach, and meaningful partnerships, Nelnet continues to invest in the future while honoring the sacrifice of the past. The work of NelVets is a powerful example of how companies can support those who served both inside and outside the workplace. We thank every veteran and service member for their courage and dedication.
In this beautiful Jeep is the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, here to serve all Nebraska veterans and their families. They operate 4 veterans homes located in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, and Scotts Bluff. They have 2 veteran cemeteries in Alliance and Grand Island. State veteran benefits include Nebraska Veterans Aid, the Vets Get Pets adoption fee program, waiver of tuition and reservist tuition credit programs, DD 214 lockup, and so much more. Did you know their state service office can help you file claims with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and assist in the appeals process? Go to veterans.nebraska.gov to see all the ways the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs can serve you and your family.
A little bit ago, you saw the Vet Center vehicle. The Lincoln Vet Center proudly marches today to honor all those who served our nation as part of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs Readjustment Counseling Service. The Vet Center provides free and confidential counseling, outreach, and community connection to veterans, service members, and their families. Visit them at 211 South 84th Street in Lincoln, or call them today at 402-327-9727.
The Military Leadership Council at FSERV is unwavering in its dedication to serving our veteran community. We proudly honor veterans, active service members, Guard and reservists, military spouses, and allies by fostering for a vibrant and supportive network. This network enables our members to collaborate, advance their careers, and engage in impactful community outreach.
This is the Cornhusker Model A Club. As you see them coming down the street, they're being led by Chance and Marcy Hanshaw, carrying the club banner. The club was founded by a group of local Model A enthusiasts in 1959. The club became a chapter in a national organization, the Model A Ford Club of America, in 1960. It's the 11th oldest chapter in the world out of 250 chapters. The Model A Club's observing its 65th anniversary in 2025. An official celebration going to be held at Speedway Motors Museum of American Speed in June, with a wrap celebration coming up for 2025 at a Christmas party.
We also recognize the Department of Nebraska and the Dakotas, sons of Union veterans of the Civil War, preserving the memory of the boys in blue. Nebraska Rangers proudly honor the heritage of the 1st Nebraska Volunteer Infantry of the Civil War and all veterans.
Up next is the Lincoln Southeast High School Marching Knights. The Marching Knights are under the direction of Gary Shuda and Seth Burke, assisted by Zach Brown and Abby Resner. The Marching Knights have a long storied tradition as a successful band program, and we're thrilled to have them here today.
Give it up for the Lincoln Southeast Marching Band. Okay, folks, this is our audience participation part of the parade. The band is going to play the Armed Forces Medley. So when you hear your service song performed, please stand up. If you can't stand up, please wave. Give us a shout out.
the national standard, the POW flag, and the flags of our military branches. You may have noticed one horse was with an empty saddle and the rider's boots placed backwards in the stirrups. This signifies that the fallen warrior will never ride again and is looking back at their troops one last time. A collection of military veteran riders and the UNL Rodeo Club.
Army, United States Army. United States Navy anchors away. United States Coast Guard, Semper Paratus. United States Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis. United States Air Force. One more time for all our veterans. Thank you, Lincoln Southeast. Awesome job.
Once again, the Horse Riders, a collection of military veteran riders and the UNL Rodeo Club, carrying our national standard, the POW flag, flags of military branches, and of course the one horse with an empty saddle and rider's boots placed backwards in the stirrups, signifying the fallen warrior that will never ride again, looking back at the troops one last time.
Parade volunteers. The Lincoln Veterans Parade Group is an all-volunteer organization of veterans and civilians working together, learning each other's strengths and weaknesses to build a better community. The parade gets lots of help from individual community members. The group working today visit Lincoln, Medical Reserve Corps, No Coast Junior Derby, Miss Nebraska's Teen USA 2025 Gabriella Swift, and Miss Nebraska Teen USA 2025 Caitlin Halverson. These are helping hands that make a successful parade. Anyone in the audience who had a hand in organizing the parade, you and your family are welcome to join the walk to the Capitol building. Everyone, please join me in giving a hand for all their hard work.
The American Red Cross provides vital emergency communications support for our service members throughout the world. American Red Cross volunteers serve in support and assistance roles in military and veterans hospitals, providing health information and on-site assistance to the medical staff. Overseas Red Cross volunteers provide morale and welfare services to active service members. For military families, the American Red Cross provides them educational and communications assistance to allow them to keep in touch with their loved ones serving in distant assignments. Thank you to everyone for attending the 7th Annual Veterans Day Parade. Please pay tribute to our service members each and every day.
I got a question. Do you guys know where the volunteer booth is for the